Welcome to Rewind and Press Forward, the podcast about you being in your season 2.0, whether you're starting over, whether something happened and you had no choice to start over, whether you just want to escape whatever you're doing and start over and you're a little bit later on in life, this is definitely the podcast for you. And today is the show I have been waiting on because I got my man, my guy, the poster child for Rewind and Press Forward, the honorary DJ Mista Soull. I don't know if you want your government out there.
We'll just go with DJ.
DJ Mista Soull. So it's kind of a tour I've been doing. I'm actually in my hometown of Omaha, Nebraska. So we're at home. And as you see, my man has been doing some big things. So I'm not going to spoil it. We're going to get into it. Please give us your background first, because then this will let everybody know why you qualified to be on this episode.
My background is DJing, of course. You know what I'm saying? But, breakdancing. DJing,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then that graduates into, throwing parties. And then from throwing parties, more DJing. And then I one day told myself I want to DJ for a living. I didn't know I was going to do that, especially starting out as a turntables with the crew, the Rebels.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
But I did quickly learn after we met Stu, who showed him how to scratch, showed me how to mix.
Now, Stu was a cat that was in the Air Force.
Yeah.
He was in the Air Force, and Air Force Base is here. And they used to have these parties on the Air Force Base.
Yep.
And as youngins, so we go way back. We go back more than 20 years of solidly knowing each other.
Right.
But we knew of each other when we was kids because we ran in different circles. But I do remember when the young rebels, this is back in the days before everybody was just shooting each other for no reason or whatever. We actually had people that danced off against each other when they had beefs. So we are dating ourselves. And I remember when you guys came out, Stu had a blue Blazer,
Yeah.
the truck. And it was like one of the dopest rides because he wasn't from here. And you guys were going around doing your thing. So what is it that he enlightened you with when he came to
Mixing.
DJing?
We never seen it. It was a house party. Crabian Fabian. Remember Crabian?
Yeah.
Fabian Crabian.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a house party. We was in there rocking, doing our thing, me, Real, you know what I'm saying, Rip. And him and his boy, who's now DJ Detroit, was D Smooth at the time. I'm not sure if Mac Daddy John was with him at the time. Might have been, I'm not sure.
Okay.
But anyway, so they come, they doing this, you know what I'm saying, while we DJing. But we learned off of listening to the records, right?
Yeah.
And Jam Master Day, all we heard is cut, scratch, and throw the record, cut, scratch, throw the record.
Right.
Juggling and boom. And we kind of when we started doing parties, that's all we knew. And then before us was Mario Scratch when we came to DJing, right? And he was like oh my God.
But who was his nemesis?
I don't know, who was it?
My sensei, the person that taught me to DJ.
Suicide.
DJ Suicide.
Suicide, yeah. So, and him and Joe Jackson, he used to be the DJ for Joe Jackson for the parties down at the Assembly Hall.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And so, and he would just be scratching his butt off, right?
That's
you know
what
what I'm
he did.
saying?
That's what he
and
did.
Mario Scratch. So anyway, so that's our highlight of DJing. We never saw nobody mix, right? And I'm not saying Mario didn't at the time. I just don't recall it. I just song scratching. And so when we saw Stu, he came to the house party and Rip convinced me and Real to let him get on because he was so arrogant. I was like, man, F this dude. You know what I mean?
That has not changed. That has not changed.
Hey, Stu, you're an acquired taste, but I love you. So anyway,
that's the best way to put that. Put that on the shirt. Put that on the shirt. I'm going to use that for several people I know. Go ahead.
So Stu gets on. No, back it up. We was like, nah, he can't use our records though. And he, like a pouch, he just flopped it around.
And he had a bag of records with him?
First time we ever seen a vinyl pouch.
That dude is always prepared, man.
And he had headphones around him, but had a raccoon tail on him. I thought that was a necklace, but no, the big giant Stu was the necklace.
I remember that.
Remember the giant silver Stu? All that stuff, right? So he gets on. We don't see him scratch. We don't see him juggle. He don't cut, nothing. So I'm like, yo, this is trash. He's not even doing anything. Turned and looked inside the party, the house party. They're going crazy. He's dropping. I'm like, wow. But then this is what I noticed. A song came on. Everybody was still dancing on beat. Like when we would DJ cut, scratch, blah, blah, all that stuff, they wait for us to show out, play the song, right? So imagine hearing somebody DJ and the music never stops, and the beat never like moves tempo, and the party's going crazy. So I was just like, I don't know what that is, but I don't like him, so I'm not gonna tell him it was good, right? So boom, we get done, and then Rip was like, yo, you need to come meet the dude. He said, just come by his apartment, blah, blah, blah. So Rip convinced me to go meet him at his apartment. He opens the door. He's like, man, show me how to scratch. I'll show you how to mix. Honestly, I never showed this dude how to scratch. It never made it that far. I showed him maybe a cut or something. I don't know.
But you was more...
But yo, he showed me how to mix in his apartment, and I was there for hours.
Man,
hours.
The crazy thing about the journey, I think that, and it's, I wish that this generation would go through what we went through, because that's the same thing when I used to sit there enamored looking at Mario scratch at the boys club when he used to do boys club parties, and I said, I really want to do that. And this is before the almighty Jazzy Jeff even came along and really changed it up. But then I lived on 39th and Ames, and Suicide lived on 37th and Ames.
Yeah.
And when I went by his house one day, I don't know if you remember Donald, he cuts hair now, we call him Disco.
Yeah, Don.
Okay, so Don, we used to always go over there.
He was in the Rebels for like a quick second.
For a hot minute?
For a hot minute.
And he said, you need to come over here, man. This dude is throwing boot camp. I'm like, huh? And I would sit there, and he used to, when he first taught me how to, no cutting, no scratching. I didn't learn how to do that till I got in the Army. Like, he taught me how to mix. He would put me through things where he just hand me records. Blend this, blend this. He just, like, it'd be a stack of records this high by the time, and then as a rookie, I had to put them all back up. But that's all he wanted me to do was learn how to mix two beats together, two records together. Beat match. That was it. And then DJing, like, we had to take a watch and time it for a minute to figure out what the BPMs are. He taught me how to do that. Man, when I got in trouble at home, I didn't get on punishment from going outside or nothing. I couldn't go over his house and practice. That was my punishment. Right, my mom was like, oh, you want to go to that DJ house? Not today.
Right, yeah.
And I was like, but that was the essence of starting out to where you were going. And if you think about it, it's weird how I'm listening to you were the DJ, Real was the DJ, Rip was already deal making back then.
He was DJing too.
He was DJing then, but he was still always, I got a guy, he was always putting people in the Rolodex. And if you look at everything you've done, even starting out then till now, what would you say out of your skill set, which one probably do you think has had the most effect on your life?
Understanding that cutting and scratching is not going to pay any bills, and understanding playing one genre of music in this market, you're not going to be able to sustain wanting to DJ, for a living.
But now you've lived in several markets, so I don't want to get ahead of it with the story of your background. Have you lived somewhere besides Omaha?
I mean, short stints, New York, but I didn't DJ or nothing there. We was doing music. Me and DJ Real was down there doing production and stuff.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Look at your dossier. Don't just limit it to DJing. I want to know everything in the facet of what you've done, because it's relevant to the conversation of you are in your season 2.0, but you've done so many things. And that's where I want your full backstory to make sense of how we got here. So you've done production, you've been DJing, you were promoting.
Oh, yeah.
Promoter alley, club owner.
Yeah, we've done all that.
Several clubs. So out of all those experiences, what do you think has given you the most, what affected you the most to throw you in the direction that you're going in now?
This direction.
Okay.
Right?
Explain.
Because through all the DJing and the clubs and all that stuff, right, that was there. I know we kind of jumping around my story, but when you gave me the call to come be on the block, when it was 107.7, 97.3.
The real radio station. Right? The real radio station.
And I was like, man, I don't know about no radio. He was just like, man, just come sit in the chair, right? just come talk.
Right.
Right? And I got there, played my part, because Nebraska was there first, right?
Right.
And so I was only there because you asked me to be there.
It was an opportunity that we had here that was given to us to have a black radio station in the city that didn't have a real radio. When I say real, don't let me say real. We've had several black-owned urban radio stations, but they were on the smaller scale.
Right,
either out of a garage or out of a small thing. It wasn't owned by a corporation. It didn't have big money backing. It didn't have a promotions department, a sales department, a program directing department. We had that.
Well,
but
I don't feel like they put the money behind us for real. We did it ourselves.
They never did, but we did it ourselves. and that's what made it what it was.
That.
Oh, trust me. Documentary on 107.7, 97.3, the only black radio. Anyway, that's coming. But like you, here's the funny thing. You said I called you and said come sit in the chair. I got the same phone call. You gotta understand, when we walked into this building, me and Brasco, I think you were there the first day we walked in. And Blair? Was it just me and Brasco?
No, it was just you and Brasco. I'm not sure how long y'all was there, but it was really quickly, maybe a week or two, you told me to come.
Yeah, no, and you were in the original plan from the rip. But it was like, it was a farm network that turned, so basically.
It was NASCAR.
Was it?
It was NASCAR.
I thought they was listening to like pork bellies and
NASCAR.
corn.
Remember the dude pulled up on us?
He was mad.
He was mad, well, because he wanted to hear NASCAR.
Because basically it was a farm
It might have
network.
been NASCAR and pork bellies.
I think it was Farm Network because I swear that when we went on the air, the first thing that we played was Move Bitch, Get Out the Way, and actually played Move Bitch, Get Out the Way. I didn't know anything about FCC regulations.
Right.
So you heard every fork and spoon and coffee cup crash at the diner next door because they looked out the window and they see 3 trucks sitting on 24s and they don't know what's going on, and we invaded.
Right.
And they just gave us they gave me the opportunity to give the opportunity, and that's what I thought about it when that opportunity came along. Because of everything you had already been through and what it was, it made perfectly sense. You were a personality. I ain't saying radio. You were a personality that belonged on radio to me.
Well, I mean, shout out to you for recognizing that, because I definitely didn't see it. I was a DJ, man. I was just crowd rocking crowds and doing parties. That was my thing.
But as was I. Remember, that's how we really linked up when Gonzo, Steve Gonzalez, shout out to him, was the reason we really.
What up, Zo?
We linked because we started DJing his parties together, and he did something epic. He did a college party called the 1,000 Strong. And this dude was a promoter in college, University of Nebraska at Omaha.
Yeah, for sure.
And he found venues that he put 1,000 college kids every time, and we would headline these parties, and you felt like a star, but you had to bring it.
Yeah.
You couldn't be no scrub. You had to bring it in all the essences of all that. And because of that recognition, I was able to break into radio, which in Omaha, Nebraska, they wouldn't let nobody DJ live on radio. Ever.
Nah, man. Because didn't you start out with like 15 minutes of a premix?
On a CD.
On a CD, right?
Eric J, when I got on, I was selling radio. Me and Rick were actually selling radio, and I would sell radio to businesses in the daytime, and then I would burn a 15-minute mix, hand it to him, and then after a month, he's like, well, can you make it 30? Give him this. Can you make it an hour?
Right.
And then,
because the city was turning in, because we never, even on the ones that were the independent black stations, we never heard nobody mix on radio.
No, it was just programming.
Right. It was just programming.
Just up in there,
Ginger
just
D and them.
Wow, Captain Courtney. That's,
you know what I'm saying?
Man, what was your boy that burnt the station down and got mad at everybody?
Billy
T.
Billy T.
That is, oh my God.
Yeah.
But and then one day he says, look. He just came up to me. You remember we hired Propagated though. We had to bring him. We had to bring him on the air with us.
Just don't do that. Whatever he said, I was like.
And then finally Eric stopped. He's just like, look, let's just take a chance. Let's have you live on the air. And I was like, whoa, like the big cities. And once I actually started mixing live on the air on the radio every day for 1 hour, and then the competition came knocking and say, look, how would you like your own radio station?
Which wasn't even supposed to be for real for a long time. They were just trying to get rid of those numbers that 94 took.
They wanted to flank the black audience in Omaha, Nebraska with the big guns and take them from us. We looked at the opportunity, we took it. So we started this, had you in there, you were doing your thing. Now, all the clubs and everything, we had already did this. So Planet Soul Grooves, all that was before this, correct?
Yeah.
God, it doesn't seem like it just runs together.
2003 is when I started at the Ridge. I was there 2003, 2008.
Wow. You wouldn't think Omaha, Nebraska had a club scene, but the golden era of this city, what would you say the golden era? I say the golden era, like I got back in 94. I would say
96 to 2001.
I'm going to give it 2005. I'm gonna go past radio because we
I
had
went
the
to Atlanta for a year,
right?
Because I left y'all Planet Soul.
Yep.
That was 2000, and then I came back around 2001 when the towers hit. So I was still in Atlanta. I was in Atlanta when the towers hit.
And I was still at 94.1, and we still had things because we had.
Yeah, it was 2003 when you started that thing.
2001.
Was it?
No, yeah, 2001.
It
was December of 2001. When we started, because it was right before the New Year's, because we threw a New Year's Eve party. Okay. That's when the station started. But I remember we had the Manhattan.
Yeah, I didn't start until 2003, so I remember.
Really?
Well, it couldn't have been.
Really? Yeah, I'm telling you, it's 2000. It was 2002. Yeah.
I've been shorting myself on my bio. I did 6 years.
Yeah, you did. So let's talk.
But I know I left in 2008 because I got called a traitor.
That's the part. Let's talk about that. So as you, I like to call them seasons, starting over. So you were in radio, #1 show at night, killing the ratings, killing all the stations that have been here forever, doing your thing. #1 dude at night. Can nobody tell you no? And I didn't.
Right.
I let you do you.
Absolutely.
Now we had issues upstairs.
No, you had an issue across the hall. Mark Todd.
Oh well, I'm going all the way up to the GM.
Oh, okay.
But that's who he took his answers from upstairs.
But you know the story what he did to me or tried to do to me.
He tried to do to you, and then you stood on business. Before standing on business was a thing. Cat, you wasn't first. This man right here was first. The #1 dude on radio, on air. All of us had shows, but nobody can beat his number. And then my boss was on some ill-ish and took him. So he just said, you know what? It's been fun, but I'm OWT. I'm out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he sent the whole email. I read the email. What was her name? Chris? I think that was the executive assistant to the GM.
I don't remember.
But anyway, I think her name was Chris, and she showed me the email to him calling me a cancer.
So when you decided to shake the spot,
because I remember I saw the writing on the wall.
It wasn't because somebody said, you literally said, I know what's going on. You came and you talked to me.
Yeah,
you said,
I was like, bro, they about to whitewash this thing, bro. So to back it up, so I'm at the radio station, I see that coming, and then when the Steve Fisk thing happened, I never knew why you left or gave him the position. To this day, I don't know what happened.
Come on, he got the position?
I do not know.
So what happened was, I was the original program director. I ran everything I had to show. Then out the blue, they bring another guy in. I get demoted to music director.
So you didn't even know that was going to happen?
Nah, I had no clue.
I never knew why that happened.
They assumed that he knew everything because fair enough. I've never run a radio station, didn't have a college degree. I didn't have to go through any of the stages that you normally would have to go through for radio. Right. And they brought him in to do whatever, and I was supposed to sit back and learn. And unfortunately, the respectful way to say it, it wasn't what it was cut out to be in him. And I was actually behind the scenes making everything happen. Right. And I regained my throne, or I got my ball back.
Well, I think they found out that he was bamboozling them out that money.
Well, he got that bread from him.
You know what I'm saying?
And it was a lucky break. It was a lucky break because it could have stayed the way it was. So it wouldn't have never happened because then a whole nother 10 years went by and we did what we did, how we did it. But
so when Rhonda became the general manager, right? Mm-hmm. And I was just like, this is not going. I'm about to. I gotta go. And so they was already P Minor was already gone, Big Al was already gone, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, yo, I'm about to be up out of here.
They were dissecting the radio station down. It was meant to be a black urban radio station, and the blacker and urban we were, the more that they were uncomfortable with it.
And I could tell things were about to go south when Rhonda became the GM and whatnot. And when we got to 106.9, and our very first marketing promotion was Justin Timberlake tickets, and what was the chick, Britney Spears tickets.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Oh yeah, we're done. Now then, but we made gold out of dirt because they didn't put no money behind us.
Nothing.
And then they didn't understand how influential we were in our neighborhoods and in the community, which is when we was taking it everywhere, right? Mm-hmm. Then you had the idea like, yo, we gonna get these baseball jerseys. Mm-hmm. So we got the baseball jerseys. Yes, I regret it.
Yeah, and I cussed your ass out.
But you told me on stage. Your ass I out. Remember this like the whole place got silent. All I heard is, "You sure you want to do that?"
So we had, was it the Little John concert?
Yeah, Little John.
And that was on Facebook. The picture me DJing, because you were MCing, I was DJing that concert. Yeah. So we had these custom baseball jerseys, man. We were the 107.7 All Stars, and they were everybody wanted one, but you had to be on the radio crew to get it. So Captain Turn Up here gets so amped. There's like 12,000 people in front of us, and he's so excited. He takes his baseball jersey and said, I'm about to throw it in the crowd. And I stopped the music. I said, yo, are you sure you want to do that? This is a coveted item. This was placed on your... And this dude threw his jersey into the audience. Don't what are you doing?
I regret that to this day, man.
I wonder who has that.
I don't know, man. I regret it to this day.
I wonder who has that jersey, man. But
yeah, I just seen it right on the wall. Then I put my 2 weeks in, and that's when Rhonda came down and called me a traitor. And I was like, how can I be a traitor? I'm not taking secrets to no one. I'm leaving. So what are you gonna do? And that's when I was like, what? What I'm gonna do? I've been me. The radio station helped, but I've been me in this city. So I'm not worried about all this other stuff that y'all talking about, right? Mm-hmm. And so after radio, went right back to doing what I do.
Which was?
Promotion, doing parties, man. Just rocking out. But then I started telling myself, like, because my turntables put my daughter through college, bro. Yeah, man. Like, that's why we're getting into arguments with a lot of these promoters. They want to like, oh, so ain't no old soul, bro. Like, this is what I do for a living. You know what I'm saying? There's no weekend I DJ 9 to 5 during Monday through Friday. I didn't have that.
24/7, 365.
Yeah, so it was a hustle. And it was a stupid grind. And the worst part about it is you end up having to take gigs that you don't want to take. Amen. Right? And then sometimes you do got to negotiate a lower rate. Because why? Car notes due, rents due, baby need diapers. So you get caught in those moments where you just got to take the gig, right?
You ever get that feeling like dudes are still trying to play us 94 prices, 1994 prices?
I get in my DMs all the time. Keep it moving. Kick rocks. As soon as I hear, let me talk to the team, I know they ain't calling me back. Right?
Yeah, I just had that. I just had that last week. Dude wanted me to DJ a tailgate party for the Cowboys, and like be out there for 8 hours. And I said, "Cool, it's $200 an hour."
Right.
Let me talk to the team.
Right. Yeah, he ain't gonna.
Like, what was you? What do y'all?
Should have been $350 an hour.
No taking.
Yeah, man. So I was doing just rocking out, doing that. Trying to see, what did I get into after that, bro? I can't even remember.
So if you're looking at DJing, was that your only thought process? So now we're starting over. We're doing something. And did you, so now when did Promoter Alley come about?
Right after that.
I remember.
It was right after that. Doing the Promoter Alley came right after that.
So what is Promoter Alley?
That was just really about, finding and seeing and posting the events that are going on around the city. Like, it really wasn't, because Facebook was out. It's really what it was about. But it never really got fully recognized out of my mind because it was just me. And then Nitra came in and she was just doing posting stuff for me. But what I really wanted it to be, I never got it to materialize the way I wanted it to do. You know what I'm saying? But I always was on them turntables because that's what I did to make a living. And then fast forward past that, 2015. Hey, man. You got a mix I can get? It's like, yeah. It's like, yeah, I'm located at the Crossroads Mall. It's like, cool. So I go in there, it's William King sitting with his best friend. Oh, I'm so sorry, man, I'm forgetting his name. So he's like, you guys, like, yeah, go mix, man. Who's the program director here? He's like, I just don't know, who's the mix show coordinator? He's like, I don't know what that is, but we don't have one, right? This is William. And he's like, why don't you do it? I was like, me?
So what did William have?
Nothing.
So I mean, but was he like running a radio station?
95.7.
All right, so I'm just saying because they don't know. So I'm saying.
I'm sorry, you're right. So 95.7 The Boss was a community station, independent community station, right? Okay. That I didn't even know existed until he called me, right?
Okay.
And so.
And he's a local guy here that he does a lot of stuff.
Yeah, because he did 1690, 1620, something like that. Was an AM frequency that he had, and then. I think he's probably one of the first ones that was allowing people to come on
and have their speakers,
shows,
give their platform.
And he was videotaping it. Well, not the first ones, because then you had to go back to video diversity, because Bishop was the very first DJ that we saw on, quote, local television doing
Shout out to Bishop, too, because he's going to cuss me out for not hanging out with him. Every time I come to Omaha, I never get to get busy. I am sorry, Chris.
Man, don't take that personal.
Don't take it personal,
Damn,
bro.
You hit him with the government.
Yep, so he know I'm serious. So
don't take it personal, bro. Please. Trust me. But anyway, so when he called me in there and I asked him, did these people exist to, give
all
the
positions,
He kept on offering the position to me, right? Like, well, you could do that. And I was like, well, what kind of money you got? He's like, we ain't got no money. So here go the whole help out a black man mentality, right?
Well, yeah,
so,
he told me when I tried to do it, he said, the Lord.
I got hit with that one too.
The Lord will help you out.
Yeah, so.
Much favor, my brother.
Right, so I was just like, you know what? Man, help him out. And because I seen a bigger vision that it could be.
The long play.
Like like this could be gold out here. Like there's no other competition on what he's doing, and we can do it because we had the blueprint already from 107.7, 90.3, 106.9 until it got goofy.
We all learned, we did learn the proper way to do radio. I didn't say the folks running it, but we understood how a real radio station was operated.
But the one thing I never learned, like I would talk to sales all the time. Of course, I talked to whomever would be in your promotions and then Sweet 98 promotion people. And I kind of knew that from the streets, like self-taught.
Correct.
Right? But I never knew programming, right? I don't know what that is. I knew what it is, but I don't know how to do that. So he said, oh, you can be the program director. I was like, I'm just not scared to jump off the building without a parachute, bro. So I was like, all right, let's do it. So he takes me over to the computer. I was like, well, show me how to work. He's like, I don't know how to work it. I was like, well, who?
Why didn't you call me?
So, you know what?
Did he use RCS?
No.
Okay.
He was using
It wasn't a radio scheduling program.
It was, but it wasn't one that wasn't that robust as like commercial like that. What is it? But anyway, so I go over there, I'm looking at it. I call up Big Al. I said, hey man, this is funny. I don't know why I didn't call you, bro. I said, you any program directors I can talk to? I'll tell him why. And he puts me on with some dude in Dallas, and this dude had ran like 3 or 4 stations all at the same time. So he's telling me all the traditional radio things of how I need to do. You need your
clocks,
your main rotation, recurrence, golds, only have this many. And I was just like, oh no, we ain't doing that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I was like, now, I'm still a DJ and I know what used to annoy the crap out of me. Right? And which was, y'all had to be on this, 90 songs, 75 songs?
No. 26.
Oh, I did. I thought it was
26, man. 26 to 30 records was all we had that rotated because the way radio is set up is for in your car listening.
Right.
It's set up in a 15-minute increment. But you had, the new, that's why you hear the same old stuff once you get in your car because it's on a 15-minute rotated clock to catch you while you're in your car.
Yeah,
You've been on air before and say, Cardi wasn't even out then, but say Cardi B was on and she just went off, and after she went off, somebody would call and ask for her song. Because they just got in their car and wanted to hear it. So we're there with it all day. They're not. So if your station is going to be programmed like a listening to all day station, like if you was in the store or whatever, yes, you would take more of a DJ analytical, never repeat a record approach. But if you was in a honest, make the hits hot rotating approach, 30 records at the max.
Nah. 30, I don't give a dang how hot the record is.
You ain't playing that.
I wasn't doing it.
Minutes.
Nah, I wasn't doing that. Right, so so I took that information, got down there, taught myself how to run. I can't remember what software that was, and then there was no imaging. Like I had to clean the whole thing out. Like it was like you could be listening to that station and it'd be a freaking acapella, then it'd be an instrumental, then it'd be a blues record, then it'd be a rock and roll record, then it'd be unedited rap music. Like it was just like somebody took a bunch of music and just threw it on there, right? So cleaning all out. Taking, like, remembering, what I heard when I was over there. The dude that Big Al had me talk to in Dallas and said, all right, create it. And I was like, we ain't got no imaging. Found the imaging dude. So I asked William, said, we gonna do some imaging? He was like, imaging? All right, cool. We don't know nothing about that. So I give William his props for doing what he needed to do and sticking to getting the station on and working with senators and all that stuff. But it just seemed like he didn't learn radio because when I would talk to him about things, he just had no idea what I was talking about. That was just radio 101.
There are people that are administrators and there's people that are more of the facilitators, but he was
Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
Like he's a visionary.
Yeah.
He knows, we can and go out. He's a networker like a mug. Like
yeah, he got that down.
Like he's a hell of a networker. But when it came to like the nuances of what the things need to be happening on air,
He needed people to execute it.
Right.
He needed people to do it.
So teaching myself how to do all that. And this is 2015 to re-up that. 2015, and then boom, I started getting it going. But the software we was using, I can't remember what it was. I just know even then it was older. Crash. So I got to redo it all again.
Ooh.
I redo it all again.
Building the whole library?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
So, around 2000, into 2015, going into 2016, Metro PCS comes into the market, right? I'm seeing they stuff everywhere. I'm like, oh, I gotta find who's their marketing people. Mm-hmm. Get a number, and got a number, to get a number, to got a number. It's a little lady, I can't think of her name, and I was just on the phone with her like, hey, I'd like to meet with you, blah, 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 95.7 The Boss. Because I understood at this time who their because from 106.9, and I understand target marketing. I understood household income median, right? Who is going to buy what and why are they advertising here?
So
right?
So you're telling me that the whole time, even though you was an on-air jock personality, you picked up analytics.
Absolutely.
You picked up demographics.
Yeah.
Skill sets that you're now coming to top of mind when you're now putting another situation.
Absolutely.
Look what you learned when you weren't even paying attention.
No, I was paying attention to that stuff.
I mean, you paying attention, but I'm just saying, look, now it comes in
handy.
Yeah.
I did not think I was going to use it again after...
you got out of radio first. Yep.
Yeah. So boom, I'm going through all that with him. With the station. That crashes, it comes back, and I see them, and I'm like, because now he's not paying me, right? So eventually I'll pay
It's the passion.
Right?
It's the passion.
But I'm thinking like, man, if this thing because it can be that. So I have to, eat what I kill, and still have to split it. So even though I'm running this, like, I remember when you told me this and I didn't believe you. You was like, running a radio station just because I'm not here, it's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Right? I didn't believe it until I did it. Mm-hmm. You're never not programming the radio station. Man, unless you sleep. And even then, you can get woke up because you gotta go do something.
Man, I'm telling you, you don't understand. Like, I had to leave that. I have a radio alarm clock because I had to listen to see because if it goes off the air, I'm the first one that has to go worry about it. If I'm on vacation with wifey in Mexico,
right?
It goes off the air. I gotta call somebody.
Right.
I have to
That's when Big Al would get them calls. Hey, I'm your butt over there.
You over there. It's not. And you never stop because you are the responsible. Because the ones that are higher up above you are making the call, and they're not going to get out of bed.
Hell no.
But if that money making machine goes off, man, somebody got to make sure it goes back on.
Yeah, man. So I got a hold of that lady, and they had. What do they call Regis office when they rent them out?
The workspace office.
Yeah, so they still getting their stuff together here. So they was renting Regis' office out there off of Dodge, 144th and Dodge, right? So I go in there, I sit down, talk to her. And one thing I've always done about me and this whatever selling me, I always told the truth. Like I don't embellish things. This is what I got. It's gonna work for you, it's not gonna work for you, right? So boom. I tell her about 95.7 The Boss, this is where we at, this is independent, this is our radius, this is how we can do these different things. I give her my spiel. She leaves the room, comes back with her boss. So now it's me and two little white ladies, in this room. And they're talking to me so PC that I have to let them know, you don't have to do that with me. So she finished what she's saying. I was like, look here. You guys are here for household medium incomes, 40,000 and under. Black people, Hispanics, poor white people. That's y'all demo. So they look at each other when I say that, just directly like, yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's what it is.
That's us. That's us. Yes, that's us.
So this is where we're at with it on our side with 95.7 The Boss. Walked out of there with a $15,000 check. Yep.
So that was advertising dollars?
Advertising dollars. Well,
first
underwriting now. That was my first one.
Okay.
Right?
So now, hold on. Wait. How many hats are you wearing right now?
That's a hell of a question.
I just was paying attention. Right. How many hats are you wearing right now?
So, on-air personality, program director, promotions, and sales. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
keep going.
So, yeah, I was doing all that, and then eventually, other They re-upped with me because that's when I learned people buy you, they already want your product, right? If they know they want the product, are you going to have enough customer service and likability for them to buy it? Do they trust what you're saying? Mm-hmm. Do they believe what they seen the vehicle? We're talking about Metro PCS, bro. They probably knew about us before I talked about them. You know what I'm saying? But it was who I needed to talk to. Was I going to go in there and be an a-hole? Was I going to go in there not knowing what I'm talking about? But make them say, nah, we ain't messing with them. Because that's what it comes down to.
So now, did you get to land any other accounts besides them? Did you get the ball rolling?
Yeah. Then I ended up doing tax companies. Of course, mom and pops, all day. Those things were happening, man. But me, I always wanted to go for like, where's the bigger dollar at? You know what I'm saying? So I did that for 5 years. Not getting paid. Really? Yeah. I was there from 2015 to 2020. Dang. I didn't leave until while I was in San Antonio.
So hold on. Let's not skip there first. So you're doing radio. Is it just, did you get an opportunity now to switch up? Once again, did you have to stand on business? What happened? Why did you leave?
Because
not why did you leave, but so what's the next? I always call them restarts. So
right.
We restarted a couple times. So what's the next restart?
So this restart comes when I just didn't feel like, even though I was earning money for the station, so boom, here you go, buy this, buy that, buy this, buy that, because we need more robust equipment that never got bought. All right, boom, he's out networking, doing this thing, get a grant. Oh, we're about to get all the stuff we need. Nothing got bought. So I'm like, all right, we seeing this thing just differently. You know what I'm saying? This is his thing anyway. So I'm in San Antonio, and before that, I was just begging Wiggin, man, you gotta get another software. This thing is old. It's going to keep crashing. San Antonio, I remote in to do some programming. Bang, that shit crashes. May 18th, 2020, it crashes, day after my birthday. I called William. I was like, hey, man, join this down again, man. I can't do this anymore, bro. He's like, all right, click. I was like 5 years and this is what we on? So I was sitting there and I said, man, you gave 5 years. Well, at the time I thought, now you just remember, you just let me know what 6 years at. So, but I got 5 years to 1069, 1077, 5 years of this dude. And right in that moment, he said, let's give yourself 5 years. Start your own. Right? So I was just like, well, it costs about 2 or 3 million just to start a terrestrial station, license, construction license. The FCC has to have something available, and they ain't done that in 15, 20 years. So that means you got to buy an existing one or lease a signal, right? I was like, so that entry high. I said, but we're in a digital age. Everybody walks around with their information on their phone. Do a digital station. Cool. Just jumped on the internet, started just researching. How do you do an internet radio station? But I wanted to do a real one, not like a lot of DJs got apps and stuff. It's just mixing. It's just music and mixing. No, I want to do a real radio station online, like, you know what I'm saying?
Formatted,
put together.
Okay.
So I wanted to get my call letters. I got emailed the ISRC, got my call letters. You get the side of the Mississippi lets you know if you were a W for East, K for West of the Mississippi. So I was a K, right? You get to pick the other letters if they're not taken. So it's really the KDGLs, my call letters, DJ's lifestyle.
I remember when our call letters was KBLR, Black Radio.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
And so I went through all that, got the website up and just got the stream through the host stream companies out of London, England, right? Because they had.
Now, is this one or is this the first one?
No, this is all the same. Like the stream is the same, the name changed.
So
in 2020,
this right here that was what you're talking about now.
It's 2020.
Wow.
Bro. Yeah. So it's just me listening to it, but I wasn't tripping. I had a lot to learn.
Okay.
Right. So I'm learning all this stuff and boom, boom, boom. And it was called ADL, DJ's Lifestyle Radio. It was called ADL Radio at the time. And I would, text anybody, yo, check it out, blah, blah, blah. At that time, they had to go to the website and just listen to it on the website.
I remember that.
So to fast forward, I ended up coming back here in 2022 for an emergency for my son, some school stuff. And I just packed everything, told my brother Marcos, man, shout out to Marcos, because he helped out a tremendous.
But see, now, I'm not going to drag this up, but you skipping something.
What am I skipping?
What did you do in San Antonio, bro?
Oh, you want to know that part?
Because it's like you're looking at so
I thought
many
just
times-
wanted like radio stuff. Like.
No, it's just, but it's your journey starting, and you ain't got to get into. You can literally give me the elevator pitch of you went from DJing to radio personality to promotions to club owner to now program director, sales, all that, and then when that didn't go right, then what'd you do? You came on down to Texas with us.
Right. Okay. How I got to San Antonio, I actually learned I didn't know what to do with myself when my dad died in 2018. Right. So when he died, it was just like, you got your kids, my dad died. I was like, I just gotta do something different. I gotta get some money. I gotta, get more life insurance. I gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm feeling like vulnerable to death. Right. And my best friend just died. And I got these kids. I said, what if I die right now? What's gonna happen with them? I gotta get it popping. So Marcos, shout out to DJ Mark III Marcos. It's like my brother from another mother. Previously, his mom was in hospice in Nebraska. My dad's in hospice. His mom passes away, rest in peace, before my dad does. So now he's back in Nebraska taking care of her affairs. When we had isms, my dad gave me and Marcos 15 bands on a credit card for isms. And so Marcos like
another one of his many nightclubs. Go ahead.
so Marcos was like, man, I gotta see dad. I said, cool. So I'm like, man, meet me over there. So we go over there, see his dad for the last time, you know what I'm saying, when he was there. But while we was there, he's like, man, you come on down to San Antonio, man. I'm doing some stuff over there. And I've always said to him, like, yeah, I'll come. Never would come.
I know another dude that kept calling you, say come to Texas, but we won't mention no names. Go ahead.
So that would be you. And so my dad ends up passing away December 23rd, 3:30 p.m., 2018. By 2019, in July 19th, I was in San Antonio. My daughter had came to Omaha because her mom more or less kicked her out. And I was like, well, come here, right? She came here, boom. And then Marcos was telling me about him having the position, a higher up, like second in charge position at a place that does mobile builds, like food trucks, like take a truck and turn it into a mobile office, right? Like that's what they did. So come check it out. So April, I went and looked, and it was like, shout out to Cameron, the dude who owned it. Him and his wife built this thing up from scratch. It was really nice. Like it had all the, you went in there, even if you didn't want anything to build, you felt like you wanted to build something.
Because it was that dope.
Yeah, because it was that dope. And it was a cool warehouse, people everywhere. I was like, yo, Marcos, I think I might be back for this. And he was like, yeah, he didn't believe me. I kept calling him and said, hey, man, Kennedy's with me, man. My daughter need a job. He was like, perfect, right on time. We need a project manager for our print side. Kennedy sent in the resume. She went down before I did. 2 weeks later, then I go down there, right? Boom, and I start doing mobile sales, don't know nothing. And Marcos is a trip because I've watched Marcos train people thoroughly. You know how he trained me? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, man, I'll holler at you. I'm like, bro, what are we doing here? Like, what's happening?
But he know how you get down, man.
But you don't know yourself because you yourself. It took him to say, like, bro, it took him to say, you've been a salesman all your life. You've just only sold you. So I was like, oh, okay, I see what you're saying. He said, but do you believe in yourself? Do you believe in what we're doing here? I said, yeah, this stuff is dope. Products is hot. I said, there you go. But I didn't know anything. I don't know what that customer base is. Who wants to go spend $150,000, $250,000, $300,000, $700,000 to build a food truck or a mobile office or a trailer? I don't know none of this. So man, it's really back to the phone book. Remember the phone book to do sales?
Yeah,
you did that.
Yeah, you did that a lot.
A phone book to do sales. I'm figuring it out, man, and going along. And so, mind you, we running up on this percolation of the pandemic. Right? We hearing about it, but ain't nothing happened yet. So there was this voicemail that was left by this dude named Dave. And this is all Dave said. Hey there, this Dave, looking at, trying to get a little trailer made. Give me a car. So no one wanted to take the call. Mark was like, there's some voicemail. No one wants to call this guy back. Because most of the time, nothing's on it. Oh, I said, well, let me use it as reps. That's what Marco said, man. Sometimes take as many as you can to get your reps in, what to sell, learn, all that stuff. I called Dave back. He sounds just like that. Hey, I want to get this trailer, blah, blah, blah. I got these polo grounds out here. It was either Connecticut or New Jersey. And yeah, we've got this nonprofit, blah, blah, blah. Kids, that's the other thing. And we want to do the catering for it ourselves and yada, yada. I mean, when he was talking like, the sky is blue and it's dark outside. Like very like nothing of it. So then he puts his assistant on the phone and I talked to him. And this thing went from me thinking it's some little trailer to a 53-foot catering trailer, right? This is my first sale, bro.
Did you land it?
$1 million.
Damn.
It started at $1 million, ended up around 890 something thousand dollars, right?
Okay.
Which is still, I round that to $1 million.
I'm gonna ask, did you get your commission?
Commission was $22,000, right? Mm-hmm. That's when I quit DJing. Because $22,000 out of 12 emails and 2 phone calls over a span of 2 months, right, to get the deal done. I remember when I was driving to get lunch and I got the email that the deposit was sitting in. They got to send in like 75% of the deposit or something. I was like, oh my God, it went through. Man, I was back. I was wilding out. Mark was in the office. Why are you squatting? I'm trying to work. I'm like, just couldn't believe it happened. And then, wow, pandemic. Fast forward.
Another pivot, another restart, another uncontrollable situation that the world had to deal with.
Right. So the pandemic happened. Come out, pandemic. Pandemic happens.
Yeah, same thing.
Pandemic happens. I'm doing that, and then the radio station I'm trying to get online. So I'm just like, I start realizing like my only motivation to be there is money, and money don't make me happy. It's just a tool. And I was just like, man, I don't want to do this. This is Cameron's dream. This ain't my dream, right? So let me talk to bro, because I gotta tell him. And the worst thing about me that I don't like about me is I will quit without a plan. That's not smart. This is my camera right here, right?
You take whatever you want.
Never quit without a plan. That's me.
Did you even have a plan when you quit the radio? When you walked away from 106.9?
I'm me. That was my plan.
Because you making me think of like,
no.
He really didn't have nothing set up.
No.
He was just like, I'm staying
back
on
to
business.
The streets, my guy. Yeah, like I wasn't going to let y'all play me. You remember the meeting with Ken Fear now?
Right? Yeah. And I was just sitting there and they're looking at me like, what? I'm like,
but
this is it.
Be honest. Didn't I say to him about 4 times, man, I don't need to say anything. I'm good. No, so everyone is here to talk. Speak your mind.
Certain people with a certain bit of entitlement just think that you're dependent upon this because of the success of what you made. They truly feel that you can't afford to walk away from it, and you proved the hell out of them wrong.
No.
I think Ludacris's song "Stand Up" was playing when you left the building, like really loud. There's a lot of Ludacris references in this podcast today. But anyway, pandemic hit, and you decided that, yo, this isn't for me. Mm-hmm. And you.
Well, when they let us go back, I had the sales, and then I was just like, I'm not happy.
So with the situation that you had to come back to Omaha from with your son, not going into it, but when you came back, and what made you stay?
Him, both my boys.
So you just said, what, I'm home, I'm here, I'm going to make something back here.
And they're in the formative years, man. Like, and raising them through an iPhone wasn't what's happening. Doing homework through an iPhone wasn't what's up. And
I respect that, because you remember I called you and I was like, where you at? Like I was, I think I spent 2 hours on the phone with you, like, come back. But when you told me it was with your boys and everything, as a father, I shut up and I understood.
Yeah, man. So I told Marcos, and you know what Marcos said to me? I just been waiting on you to tell me. I seen you been unhappy. I was like, man, you sure I'm coming in energy? He said, I know your energy because you're good inside the warehouse and with the people, but I know you. I was just waiting for you to tell me.
It's a good dude, man.
So I told him, and then I went up to Cameron's office. I said, can I talk to him? He's like, yeah, man. I said, shook his hand, said, thanks for the opportunity. I said, bro, but this is your dream, man. I got to go get mine. And he was like, you're leaving? I was like, yeah. He said, tell you what, you got a 3% sale right now. Since we're not going to be paying you, we'll give you 6% on any sale you bring in. I was like, all right. But I never even went and tried to sell anything.
I thought he was going to give you a trailer to take with you or something.
Right, I'd have sold it.
Take this property.
I'd have sold it. But yeah, so then I was just trying to figure out the radio station. Marcos is like, man, I love this ADO radio thing you're doing. And he's like, man, I've made $100 million easily for other big corporations. Let's do it again, because we had isms together. So we went through a whole financial embarrassment. Like, you think you got a couple coins until somebody audit your bread. And Marco said, we got to audit your money, man, write down everything, boom, boom. I was in the red, right? I was like, God dang, right? So boom, he was just like, all right, this is what we're going to do, because everything's based on credit, this, that, and other thing. Yo, my bro did not hesitate. He said, so we calculate everything. You got about $16,000 that's in debt. Now, to some people, like, man, that ain't no money. But when you ain't got no money, then that's some freaking money that you in debt. Cuts the check for the 16 bands. Zero debt. That's what he did, right? Watch my credit score just skyrocket. Okay, I see what we doing, right? He's investing in me, investing in us. That's really what it was coming down to, right? And so, but then the thing happened with my son. I had to get back here, and that was his first priority. So, get here, things is kind of going a certain way. Like, San Antonio was like money one-on-one college to me, and it changed my mentality. I had a $5 mentality when I was in Omaha. I took that $5 mentality to San Antonio. Marcos used to have to come down there and tell the people how much it cost, because I couldn't bring myself to tell this old retired couple that trailer's gonna cost you $300,000. Because I never talked like that before, right?
I'm only bugging because the exact same thing happened, and I understand exactly what you're saying. I quoted somebody for a wedding to take photos, and she saw my work, and she said, these photos are amazing. I said, thanks. She said, how much? Give me your best package. I slid the paper across. She immediately stood up and said, no, thank you. And I said, whoa, I'm sorry. Is this too much? She's like, no, this is not enough. This must be a scam. I'm like, but that's my top package. That's Omaha prices. She's like, there's no way. I said, in Omaha, they would argue and try to get it for cheaper. She says, well, you're not in Omaha.
Right.
You better learn something. And she walked out.
Wow.
I quadrupled my prices, and at that point, we good. But like I said, the mindset, it was, and it's hard. It's still hard for me to still charge friends and family a certain amount, but groceries go up. They don't mind charging us more. Rent goes up. They don't mind charging us more. It's business.
Yeah, man.
And that's all it is. It's nothing personal, but it is business.
Yep. So when I came back, that's what I was on. People, yo, so you back DJing? I shoot that price. They be like, what?
You told me that.
Yeah.
Remember, that's the conversation. Yeah, that's the conversation we had.
You just sent me 2 paragraphs of how I'm the best DJ, and it can't be nobody but you to do your event. I give you my price, and then it's who you think I am. So I said, because when I came back, a nice little bread, and then I helped somebody out. We won't get into, now that's the story I'm not gonna tell on here, right? Who's I? Right?
You said a lot without saying nothing.
Yeah.
Got you.
So with that being said, then, but I still told myself I'm a DJ what I want to do, not what I got to do. I'm not gonna do that anymore.
There you go.
Right? And so things just started happening, man, for me, just sticking to my guns. I'm sticking to, oh, that's $300 an hour. Oh, that's $350 an hour. Oh, I need $1,500 for that. So this is what I realized. This is what Marcos told me. I remember I was in there. It's like, all right, man, let me go in here and try to find me some clients or whatever, some customers. The demo, $250,000, $300,000, $120, try to get something on the books. He said, so before you walk out, come here for a second. So I come back, he's sitting in his desk, you know, being Marcos. He said, so you about to go look for clients that's gonna spend $150,000, $200,000 because you figure there'd be more of those people, right? I'm like, yeah. He said, how long you think it's gonna do it? I said, well, shit, I'm here. Sorry about that, I don't know if I, but right. So I said, well, I mean, I'm here until I get off. He said, do you know a person that can spend $1 million is in that same type of time frame? He said, so why are you looking for somebody that's gonna spend $200,000? It's the same 6 hours. Looking for somebody that's gonna spend $1 million. I was like, dang. So sometimes you think you're working when you're really wasting your time, right? So I brought that here. This is still a $200, $300 at the most.
At the most.
For 4 hours. Bring everything. We need your baby. We need your arm, your DNA. Bring all your equipment and lights for $300. So
try getting airfare and hotel and like a hamburger, and they think that's good enough. Just try that.
No, I just stuck to it. So I was like, let me change my target and the who's and boom, boom, and network with different situations. So I looked at it like this. Let's say the average here is $300. If you DJ'd every week, it's $1,200. Cool. My bottom was $750, but I'm always shooting at $1,000 to $1,200. So when I would get that gig, I believed I can get one of those a month. Mm-hmm. I believe that.
So you could work once.
Right.
For then if we would have had to do it 4 times.
Yeah.
Gravy if you work 2 or 3 times.
Right.
At your price.
Right. So then if I believe I can get one of those, that one is going to come in, let's say, the egg department. Mm-hmm. Right? So let me get another one of those in the shoe department. Now I got $2,400 for 2 gigs. Now let me get something over here in the jeans department. Now I got $3,600 off of 3 gigs. While everybody else got to work 3 or 4 times in a weekend, hoping they can do Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, every weekend. And we don't even have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday here no more. So they mostly gonna get is Saturday. Fridays is a hit and miss. Saturday was gonna be. The pool is small. Mm-hmm. Black entertainment in Omaha is in the mud right now, right? So they over here scrapping, doing crazy stuff. And I'm like, nah, I bet I won't do that no more. So I just started dealing with people who didn't hesitate when I told them $1,000, $2,000. $3,000.
Now, was it in the smaller market, and you notice you've been in bigger markets and bigger cities, mm-hmm. How hard has that been for you to find people that are willing to pay you what you're worth and your value?
It was hard when I was looking in the wrong place. Once you find the right place and talk to the right people, it's not hard at all, because they're like that lady. Tell them the price, okay, cool. They're not arguing, period. And guess what? The longest gig is 2 hours.
That's the crazy part. You ever notice that the people that pay you the most money for your value are the easiest people to deal with?
Come on, man.
And the people that don't spend no money with you act like they gave you $1 million.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
Yeah, and then one of the biggest connected blessings was running into Precious McKesson in Target. Right? So I ain't seen you in a long time, blah, blah, blah. You're back, blah, blah, blah. That whole thing going our separate ways.
She introduced you to a whole different market that you didn't know existed.
Because she's with the Nebraska Democratic Party.
They need
right.
They need entertainment too.
Yeah. So she said, well, we're gonna try a DJ at, I think it was the first one was the Senator's Party or something like that in Lincoln. Mm-hmm. We're gonna just try it out because people usually leave. We kind of want people to mingle. So we get done with everything. I'm playing, man. That dude, 91 years old at the end of that thing, in front of the DJ booth dancing. So a bunch of, older, and then the young Democrat, like, boom, they dancing. Her boss sees, like, who's this dude? Oh, that's Soul DJ. Oh, ask him if he can do this gig. That was a couple years ago. So Precious is the head in charge, and then she has her boss right here in Nebraska, right? That's it, it's them two. They was like, yo, this dude right here is our official DJ for all our gigs. And I didn't know they was doing this much events. And Boom. So shout out to Precious. Like,
And so now you're making what you asked for.
without
DJing for a couple
hesitation.
hours. You're not DJing for $200 at the Dirty Flow for
No.
Friday. You're not worrying about beer bottles and tables being thrown at the end of the night and some girl on girl fight. You ain't worried about waiting to come outside to see if there's a bullet hole in the back of your car. Cause none of that. None of that.
Nah, man. And so when you're in those environments, guess what? Those people see you. They trust you because you're DJing for one of the biggest brands in Nebraska, a political party. So, you know.
So now would you say then, now in your age now, you're in your 2.0 season.
Yeah.
You're 50. You're over 50 like I.
Yeah.
But look at the evolution that happens. If you look at the whole story you've told over this last few minutes, look at where you started from literally learning how to blend records and all you knew to do how to scratch to now you're DJing events for what you asked for the Democratic Party, but it wasn't overnight.
Nah, man, you definitely gotta put in the work, and the one thing that's above your skill is your integrity.
All right, so I think we're on the fifth pivot. I don't know, I want to call it starting over. We got 87.9, man. So
Right.
Tell me now, in current day Mista Soull, where are we and what do we got going on?
All right, man, quickly. So got the 87.9, the coach from ADL Radio, is actually I was on the phone with P Minor. And when P Minor discovered I even had it, he had listened to it or whatnot, and then he called me up like, bro, like, what are you doing? I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, X, Y, and Z. He said, stop everything that you're doing and just do this. I was like, cause you know me, I've always had a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I'm trying to do this, try to do that. He said, nah, man, just give it 1 year. Like, but he's screaming at me, which is wild. Like, he's like, I guess it was God trying to work through him to get my attention, like screaming, like literally, I'm not saying screaming, literally screaming on the phone at me, right? And so I got off the phone with him. I thought about it for a couple hours. And I was like, well, you're Mr. Jump off the, plane without a parachute. Cool, drop
One more again.
Yep, drop everything and do this. And I called it back and said, man, I'm gonna do it. It's cool. So then I wanted it to have the traditional radio. That's why it's 80, even though these numbers mean something personal to me, but I wanted it to have that 106.9, that 95, you know what I'm saying?
FM radio.
Yeah, I wanted to have the radio nostalgia, though we're in this technological age, right? This digital age or whatever. And I knew it wasn't smart marketing wise. Because when let me turn on the car.
It's not there.
It's not there. You gotta download the app. You know what I'm saying? I knew that was gonna be a challenge. And even though I was talking to Marcos, he's like, man, I just stuck with it. I just stuck with my guns because I wanted that part of it, to have that. And so fast forward, the app got launched April 23rd to 2023.
The place is amazing.
Yeah, even before I got here and got partners, my very first advertising was Omaha Public Power District, my bro.
OPPD?
OPPD has been with me for 2 years now. How do you land OPPD, right?
By being who you are.
Yeah, but once again, shout out to Precious, because she knew the lady who worked at OPPD, and they just had, I think she said like Wednesday breakfast together or Wednesday lunch. They would just talk. And then she had they had this whole marketing campaign that was coming out with OPPD, and she was like, yeah, you should call. He has a radio station that I listen to, right? She just threw the alley-oop. That's throwing the alley-oop is the beautiful part, but if you're not ready to catch it, it's for not. You know what I'm saying? It was just two people talking, and they threw a name out there.
So now, is it just you, or did you build the team? Now if you're looking at, is it just you right then or now?
Just now I have a team. Then it was just me.
Okay.
And this is when me and William was partying.
Right.
Right? And we finally had parted. And which was funny, if he sees this, I was doing that deal while me and him was still in partnership, right? And they wanted to deal with me. And I was like, well, I'm with 95.7 The Boss, because he was running my stream live. Like, Omaha don't know that. When I got back here, that thing crashed again. He came to me, man, help me out, blah, 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 X, Y, and Z, boom, boom. And I said, man, just run my stream until you get it up. He ran my stream for over a year. And he's getting calls like, yo, man, I don't know what's happening over there. This thing is crazy. It's rocking. I love the station. But I don't need to go out and tell everybody, no, that's my thing. But one day I said, man, 30 days, bro, so you can get what you need to get a program director. I think, we just see it differently.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
No love lost. Gotta go.
One of the homies said, man, he gonna call you within a week and cut it off. I said, nah, he should be cool with that. Like, that's fair. I mean, he owed me money. Why wouldn't he? Right? Didn't even take 5 days. Sent me some crazy, goofy-ass email. I can't do this. All right, cool. So then I went back and had a second interview with OBBD, WebEx interview. Hey, before we get started, I'm no longer with 95.7 The Boss, so y'all know. It's just a starter radio station that's on a mobile app, and I only got 150 downloads right now. But I got a lot of, social media intent to grow, blah, blah, blah. She's like, we wanted to work with you. We don't worry about him. We don't worry about 95.7.
That is the third or fourth time I've heard it to where it wasn't about the product, it was about the person.
Yeah. Yeah. And so shout out to Jamie. So then I got to my third meeting, WebEx meeting, and that was when there was two ladies, now it's 3 ladies. The third one was, we're going to greenlight that proposal you sent. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? And then booked me to DJ.
Standing on business is actually not all that bad.
Right, you know what I'm saying? So, and they've been with 87.9 The Culture for 2 years now.
Well, you're definitely not done doing what you're doing, man. So what is the future for 87.9?
When I got the partnership, which just happened this year with Tyrone and Shields and his wife Keisha Shields, and their business was SD Home Care LLC. They came in, that's a whole nother story, I won't get into it, but that's who I partnered with. And they just came in with capital and resources, all right? And I've never had that. I've never had where I can stay in one room and get things done, and somebody else is in another room getting the other stuff done, and running different departments and doing different things, and then having the capital to get the things done. That's the most amazing feeling to have, is that, right? And so we ended up here because they said, yo, we found this. I'm like, man, put me in a box. I don't need all, you know how we get down. Like, man, I don't need all that. Just get me. But Keisha's like, man, we do big and we don't do it at all. So the bigger thing is to make this the biggest named radio station in Omaha, Nebraska. From there, it will spiral out because it's on your phone and you live in Dallas.
I was doing it.
Right? We have DJ Jelly, who's in Atlanta, who's a mix show here. San Antonio is DJ RC3. Well, DJ RC3 is in San Antonio. He's the young 16-year-old kid who won the DMC championship. He's every Saturday, 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock on the station. But we're still going to do, like remember I told you, if I get Busy B to do me a video drop, because you're making your name in Dallas. Freeze is in Dallas. I forgot that dude that came from Houston. That's Steve Nice. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Steve, yeah,
I get you guys just to do video drops. And you're there because people got followers with y'all. Then we just do geo marketing in Dallas, in Texas, in Houston, those cities. Then you get in those downloads. So now your listenership is growing. Because I already know locally we need to have 10,000 downloads to be on an efficient compete with terrestrial radio. Because terrestrial radio at a 25,000 watt stick, your average listening on every day is around 2,500 to 3,000 people, right? Until they're doing some big marketing thing, it will grow. So if you got 10,000 people and then you can get that many downloads, I know out of that downloads, that 10% is around 1,000 people, right? I'm not even there yet, and we have a turn of 45,638 open sessions. Fourth quarter alone. So.
Man, you have, wow. Literally, just this conversation alone, even some of the stuff I didn't know, and we know a lot about each other, but
Yeah.
it shows and proves that even season 2.0, whatever, it's more of if you just keep going. Just keep going. even when you jump out the plane with no parachute, but if you hit the ground with your feet running, you can roll and keep it going, but don't give up. Don't give up. And it sounds like your resilience really is because you are who you are. I mean, you stand on business before it was a thing. You've been doing that for a long time, man. So
I remember you pulled me to the office. I need you to calm down, man. They're starting to call you the black militant. I'm like, I'm not. I was like, yo, I'm not that. He said, but it doesn't matter.
Oh my God.
They just are not used to you.
Now listening to it now because that was you. But it's like, man, why do you have to pull punches? If you hire somebody to be themselves, then when they are themselves, now you want them to not be themselves.
But you never came to me. You just told me what they were saying.
Yeah, I didn't want you to stop being you.
Yeah, you never once came to me like Mark Tye.
Actually, I wish I just would have brought a public enemy flag in the office and slammed it on the wall and been like, "Do what you do, man."
Because that was probably the beginning of my exit when Mark Tye walked in there and said, "Hey, can you tone it down because we got all these Anglo-Saxon listeners?" I was like, "You mean white people?" Yeah.
You see, he was doing that, and I didn't know it. He was going behind my back and saying stuff to you. If I'm
like, so right after that is the email to General Jim, and then that's what then shortly General Jim's come down the hallway, sees his office like, oh, you had a neat looking office. Remember, he just messed up everything on his desk.
Because he got frustrated.
Yeah, we got mad stories about 6ix9ine.
I'm telling you, we are going to do, man. That is, we're doing the no hold barred documentary about and you know we used to call it the little station that could.
Yeah, man.
The little station could. Well, man, bro, like I said, I was waiting on this one. I came home to do some work and we had to bring it. I brought the whole studio to Omaha just so we can do this, man.
Man, I appreciate it, man. I'm humbled by it, bro.
So make sure it's going to be in the description of everything. You tune in, download the app, 87.9 The Culture. You can tell them where to get it at right now.
That's it, 87.9 The Culture. Or you can even put in CLTR on your Apple and Android device. That'll pop right up. Download, and it's free.
It is free.
Right?
And it's
edit it so you can listen to it with your kids.
I still need to get a mix to you. Oh, it's radio. That's the question he'd ask. Radio.
Yeah, radio mix.
All right, well, this is another episode of Rewind and Press Forward. When you are into your season 2.0 and your little guidance, need to know a little bit of where to go, we are definitely the way to show you how to do it. So until next episode, peace.